So today we're gonna start our new show, Change Agents with me and Caleb. The show is about I want to talk to people who have brought unique change to their different industries, whether that's in music, film, art, in any way. I really just want to talk to people who are not trying to do things the same way. So today we have the legend, one of my best friends, one of the most influential people I know, on and off the court,
How much I owe you for this intro?
Hovain Hilton. Pay me after the introduction. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yo, you the first guest. Technically, you the first guest.
I'm made.
I think we did Earth Gang, and it was kind of like
Yeah, that was like a warm up.
it was like a
Okay.
warm up.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't have all the IP and everything. And one thing Hovain taught me is make sure you get your IP.
That's a fucking fact.
If you don't get your IP, you might as well not do it.
That's a fact.
But
Well, I'm happy to be here. Be number 1A or 1B, however it
you
goes.
number one.
Number one.
Number one, dog.
Appreciate it.
I had a couple of my other friends in here that I could have interviewed. I'm like, nah, Hov got to go first.
Appreciate it.
We got to do sneaker check first. Make sure y'all get the sneaker check.
Facts.
Anybody who know Hovain know the freshest nigga this side of the Mason Dixon and on the other side.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. It's so weird because sometimes, like, I like, we're friends. So I'll be like, yo, let's go grab something to eat. Like, what you got on? Like, nothing, nigga. Like, no. What you got on? Like, my wife do it. I'm like, yo, let's go get something to eat. She's like, are you getting dressed? I'm like, yeah, I gotta put clothes on. She's like, no, but what are you putting on? Let me see your outfit. It's not that serious.
Dog, you got a video of Jadakiss telling the whole world how you the freshest nigga in the world. So now you just put the pressure on everybody.
My friends are very kind. My friends are very kind.
You not kind though, because if I walk outside looking crazy, you be like,
I'm gonna tell you, why would I?
so your level of crazy is a little bit higher than everybody else.
Listen, man, I was always taught to believe you look good, you feel good, you work good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Deion Sanders.
Well,
Another-
even before Deion Sanders,
Another
my mama
another
always-
Albany product. I'm gonna take that
My
one.
mama taught me that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You take pride in your presentation, how you look. You know what I'm saying? Your cleanliness, your hygiene, your smell. You know what I'm saying? If all that's together, that's a starting point.
You know what? That's crazy because like I've been getting. This gonna sound real crazy, but I've been getting manicures and pedicures, right? But women be so like shocked. They be like, "Oh, you get manicures?" I'm like,
I think most people for a whole can take pride in their general hygiene. So, like, for men to do it, it's like
Right.
that's the regular.
yeah,
thing.
that's right.
Yeah. A lot of dudes they shy away from it too. I don't know why,
I
but
think they associate it with being
like masculine or like whatever. Yeah.
feminine, get your nails in. No,
Right.
I'm just trying to make sure my shit look good.
Right.
And it's clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it, but I'm gonna keep getting my manicures and pedicures for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Same.
So I introduced you as my friend, but I didn't really tell people what you do because it's kind of hard to put
You can't even quantify it. Like you do so much.
and you gonna feel like I'm gassy, but Hovain really do everything. So what do you think is the number one thing, and then I'll go from there. What would you say is your number one?
I think music still is my whip, like the bread and butter. Like, I'm a music manager. That's at the core of who I am. I'm a manager, executive, playmaker, deal broker, businessman.
Stylist,
It's not like
executive producer,
yeah.
video director, creative director.
I'm wearing many hats sometimes out of necessity. So, like, now that I don't have to do it, it's still like a passion of mine. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's why it's like I ain't gonna say it's effortless because I don't think everybody can do what you do, but I think it's effortless to you because you really care about those things. You're not doing it because it's the job.
Yeah, it's like, I was at a point when I had one artist and I had to do everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Management, road management, booking, stylist. So, like, I learned all those skills. So, like, that's the thing about learning something. Nobody can never take that away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you have the money to outsource, like, I could pay a stylist, I could pay this person to do that, but, like, I have the knowledge and, sometimes I feel like being hands-on.
And that makes you more valuable too because you do so many things so well.
Like,
Yeah.
if you can add value to any situation, you're irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing I feel like I want to do that I can't do.
That's a fact though, and it's been. I think I'm like that in a sense where I normally feel like I can do anything, but I remember when I first got into management, I was like, I don't know if I want to do it, and you was like, Are you crazy?
You crazy? You can do this shit. It's really like some people's talent is recognizing and amplifying the talent of other people. You know what I'm saying? So that's a talent in itself. Everybody can't be a manager. It's cliche and it's cool to say I'm an A&R or I'm a manager. Like people put that in their bio, but like being a manager is actually a real talent.
So as like one of the like premier deal makers, like you do a whole lot of stuff that, or you involved in a lot of projects and a lot of real deals that people don't know about. What you think is the biggest misconception in the game about making it, whether you're an artist or an executive or one of the other entities that keep the ball moving?
I think that people see the end result a lot of times, and they think that getting there or getting shit done is simple and easy. Like what I'm saying? People think they're gonna start working in January and I'm gonna have the Bentley by February. Like it doesn't work like that. It's so cliche and so corny to say, but the work you put in is what you get out. Like I give 100% in everything I do, so you see the end results. So people see the end results and want to emulate the end results, but they don't want to emulate the work.
Yeah, I think we like super culture heads, sneaker heads. We all got on Jordans or Nikes. But I remember Michael Jordan had this commercial, and it was like, maybe it's my fault. And he was talking about maybe it's my fault because I didn't show you the times that I was depressed, or
Yeah.
I didn't show you all these other times. All you saw is me win.
But social media, all you post is your wins. Well, that's all most people post is their wins. So people see the wins, they see you partying, they see you and Caleb in Mexico having a good time. They're like, man,
Taylor was in Mexico. I was.
Come on.
they're like, man, I want to be like these two brothers, man. They got it figured out.
But
They
they
don't
don't see
know
the
about
process.
the times you holding the camera for hours
Yeah.
and freezing cold and not getting paid right and the flights you have to pay. And like a lot of people don't care about the work. Like I think it got lost because Kim Kardashian said it. But what she said was 100% true. Like you got to work. You got to do the work. People don't want to do the work. They want to party. Like what are we partying about? You got to put some work in. Put some wins on the board. Then you can party.
And you don't want to be the whack.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the whack guy in the group chat.
Yeah, I have the saying. I always be like, yo, I don't want to be the whack friend in the group chat because I have like a couple group chats in my phone that like are really successful people. I don't want to name drop. That's corny, but like these people are doing $1 million deals, and they're some of the most powerful people in music and business. It's like, man, you can't be the whack one. You better put some work. You better do something so you could not just prove you belong, but so you could have add value.
Right to the
Yeah,
conversation.
because like I have friends that do X, Y, Z. I might need them. I want to be able for them to call on and need me for something too. You know what I'm saying? That's what a friendship is.
It can't be one sided.
Yeah, it can't be one sided.
And I think that, I always tell people, use me. I want to be useful.
Yeah.
Just don't misuse me.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't miss me. If you can't be useful, if you can't be used, you're useless.
And that's never a good thing. Who was the first artist you managed?
First artist, the first artist I managed, I want to say it's both of them was around the same time, but Troy Ave, Rich Hill, Tommy Hilfiger's son. So that was like probably like around the same neck and neck time.
I think that's the craziest. I would have never thought Tommy Hilfiger's son.
Yeah, that's my son Rich. Shout out to Rich. I was with Rich the other day. He just dropped the album. Rich Hill. Shout out to Tommy too. Tommy's my guy.
Word.
How did you end up with Rich Hill? Like, I think the Troy Ave one kind of makes sense if you know what people from and their background. But how did the Rich Hill one come about?
My partner Sycamore was managing him and working with him.
Child is sick.
Yeah, shout out to Sycamore. So Sick was like, running around doing. He was like doing 1,000 things. He was like, hey, could you help out with Rich a little bit? So I started with like tour management, road management, and it started from there.
What year was that?
08, 09.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, 08, 09.
What was that process like even getting to the point of managing your first artist? Like what
That shit just happened.
it just
I
happened?
didn't- like people always ask me that, and I tell them the story, and they be like, "That's crazy," but that's just how it happened.
Yeah.
I had a friend who rapped. We hang out every day anyway with friends, so we doing everything together, whether it's getting money, what party, or whatever. So naturally, if he go to the studio, we all go in the studio. And then he started to take rap a little more seriously, and I guess he saw that I was kind of like business minded.
Yeah.
So it was like, "You the manager,"
Right.
and it was like, "I guess." So we kind of like figured it out
Yeah.
together.
But you also came up like under one of the most legendary managers of all time.
You see, I wouldn't say came
Promote.
up. I wouldn't say came up under. We met him already when shit was already moving. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was already still doing me. So I didn't come up under him. I got to be around him for like probably like a year and get some toolage. But I was already doing what I was doing. He met me as me.
Butch Lewis, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like you just come in. I think it's kind of how it's supposed to go when you have the skills, you naturally find your purpose or your place
Yeah,
to maximize those skills.
man, just be a good person, be honest, and like God will take care of the rest. You know
And
what I'm
just be
saying?
yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself and just like be pure and believe in yourself and what you're doing, and shit gonna figure itself out. Like sometimes I find myself in places and doing things. I'm like, yo, how the fuck did this happen? It's just like, God, this is the plan for my life. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't did this on my own.
Yeah. And then it's you remember how we met?
We met, but we didn't meet. But I remember All-Star game at the Madison Square Garden.
That's good.
Yup.
On the suite hotel. I'm like,
Sweet, that's, yup.
it was fresh then.
I mean, this ain't changed. Like I was fresh since third grade. This ain't new.
I was fresh since third
For the
grade.
record, what year was this?
15?
Yeah, I think that was 14, maybe 14.
14,
Oh,
15?
yeah, 14.
Whenever it was in New York, I know that.
Yeah, it might have been 14 or 15. Yeah, yep, it might have been 14 because I remember T.I. had All About the Money. We had a party with T.I. that year. I remember. Yeah, so it might have been 14. Yeah,
Man, that's when like the Knicks were good
yeah, that was a long
and
time.
Melo was mellow.
That was a long
J.R.
time.
Smith.
That was yeah, J.R. Smith. That was a
Yeah.
long time ago. Yeah, that was a great time. That was a great time. We it's nothing like being hot in your city. I tell that to people all the time. Like having a hit record and being that guy in your city. Like New York is like one of the biggest cities in the world.
Yeah.
So we had a record that was on fire, and the All-Star game was in New York. We had about 12 parties that weekend. When you hot like that, it feels like every day is your birthday. Every day.
Everybody was trying to get a shirt or a hat.
Anything. It was crazy. It was like every day is your birthday times 10. And you're getting money to go to these places and party, and it was crazy.
So what's like when you in your city you get hot and y'all take off like that, then you also go on the road. What's the most people you think y'all ever took like on the road, like the most flights and accommodations you ever had to book for a trip?
We had some time. we had some time. We used to roll pretty deep. It used to be a lot of us. It used to be a large party. I don't remember a lot of flights. Like a lot of flights, maybe 10, 12. But I remember a couple events. Probably was like 40 cars worth of people. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like if it's something close like Philly,
Y'all
like
caused the
everybody
traffic
riding
jam.
out. Yeah, like something like that. Like you know, I grew up watching Dipset and shit like that,
Yeah.
and seeing G Unit, and I
Right.
always used to see that. Them niggas used to be so deep. And
And they move as a unit.
I remember visiting a friend at Howard Homecoming. This was I was probably 19, 18. G Unit was so crazy they was torn off the mixtapes. This was before Get Rich or Die Trying.
50 is the future.
They torn off the mixtapes. I went to the club. I forget the name of the club, but they left, and it was so many of them. They took all the women with them. I was like, "Yo, there's nobody." And it stayed with me. I said, "Yo, they took all the girls. This is crazy." I said, "This is unbelievable." So we kind of started moving them all in like that at a certain point.
Yo, can you imagine like all the women left out the club?
This is how Homecoming, bro.
It ain't no point
This
in
is
being there. Like,
chocolate
There's
Super Bowl.
There's so many women. 50 started leaving. They started leaving out. Motorcade. You see all the women just leaving. I'm like, what?
Is that what made you feel like I don't know what I'm gonna do in this game, but I gotta be up there?
That was one of the moments. That was one. That wasn't the primary moment, but that was one of the moments. I was like, this music shit is something. It's something to it. Like I've seen Can and Cherry Lounge in Harlem leave out and women like pushing each other on the floor to get the can. Like yeah, so it's like
Camp was smoking hot,
I was about to say, like, he had a
fish
run.
grease.
and it's always
Fish grease. That boy was man. The music is a powerful tool. I'll just say that music is very powerful and it evokes emotion. And a lot of times when women get a chance, or not even just women, people get to be their favorite rappers, celebrities. They come through.
I always I think you introduced me to Jim,
Oh yeah.
and that's what I love about music too. Is like music move people, but also music has like this way of it's always the person that you didn't necessarily think was gonna be the best that rises because they worked the hardest.
Yeah.
And that Jim Jones is like a perfect example of that because at one point Cam was here,
Yeah.
people thought Jewels was gonna be next, and now I feel like Jim got the best.
Jim's been my favorite rapper since Probably his first or second album. I've been Jim Jones out. Jim Jones is a hard worker. He's another person who direct videos. He know how to mix and engineer. I think the only thing he don't do is produce. That's another person that just wears all the hats. Shout out to him.
When we first got the studio, I remember even still now, like setting up the set and everything. When we first got the studio, Jim Jones was one of the people that I was like, I remember him telling stories about at Rockefeller how he would learn everything so he could get the
Everything.
invoices.
Everything.
And I was like, I was telling Caleb, I was like, I gotta learn everything, not because I want to do everything, but I just know there's the value. Like I want to be able to set up everything if
One day,
nobody's
anytime
there.
when I come, what you gonna do? Cancel the session? Caleb might be caught up in Cabo.
Yeah.
Yo, let me take the
Turks.
pictures for Turk. Oh, sorry, Turk.
I mean, that's
Caleb
good.
might
Like,
be caught up in Turks. Be like, yo, let me take the
Right.
pictures.
right.
Trav might not be here one day. He might be like, yo, I gotta handle this and run this invoice.
And I
you
gotta
know what
fill
I'm saying?
in. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just about
Every
just,
nigga you click is rich, you click is rugged.
exactly.
That's why I keep saying Rockefeller the best unit of all. That's the best
I agree.
umbrella in hip hop ever.
I agree.
People try to give it the Young Money, Cash Money, but I don't think they got.
I think that's what it is. Their success is so massive. Young Money, Cash Money was like major bombs, but I don't think the length of time, and I don't think it's not spread out as much. Like you know what I'm saying? It's more people that were successful in Rockefeller than them. You know what I'm saying?
You got like Wayne and Juvie, then you got Nicki and Drake, and then it's like nothing. I feel like you can go Rockefeller and go the Jay Bleak Beans era. You can go Kanye. You can go Dipset.
It was more diverse. I feel like it, but Young Money's still going strong and kicking too. Shout out to Mac Man.
I wish Wayne would have went Rockefeller though.
That tainted it.
I think it would have changed his career.
Change it for what? He had a great career after that. After he's dead. So you know what I'm saying? Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happened for a reason. I think when at one point I was like a super Wayne fan, and then I think at a certain point it became more about Wayne the star than the music for me, and I just feel like if he has
I think that's not true. People just not listening. When people kind of like, all right, move on to the next thing, they stop kind of listening. He's been putting out quality music all the time. Just people not listening.
Wayne definitely had a drop off though.
I don't know, man.
He been red hot the last 2 years.
Single wise, maybe, but the quality of his music has been consistently good. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to the albums. I'm a Wayne fan.
We're gonna do the top five.
Talk about what Wayne?
No, do you think Wayne top five all time? Do you think Wayne top five all
I
time?
think he is.
If he's not top five, he's definitely top seven. I gotta think.
Yeah.
He's definitely top seven. If he's not top five, he's definitely top seven.
I'll say top 10. I don't know if he's top 7, but I might be a little biased.
Maybe.
I'm biased to your city.
I mean, listen, man. There's a lot of greats from New York, but I travel. I've seen the world. I've been places. I have friends and relationships with different people. So my top 10 is in 90% New York. There's other dope people other places too.
Jay-Z, Biggie, and Nas.
1, 2, 3.
In that order.
I go back and forth with Biggie just because he didn't have enough bodies of work. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have a long enough time. He only really had a 3.5 year run. You know what I'm saying? So,
Do you count the ghostwriting projects when you count his run?
I mean, he wrote the Kim Project for the most part. Then he wrote the whole Junior Mafia album. Then he wrote a double album. So if you count,
It's really 5 albums.
If you count his whole lineage, he did 5 albums in like a 4-year span. So.
What you think about? I feel like I'm dominating, but we
You good? You good? Do your thing.
Convo. Bringing up Jay-Z and Nas. Jay just came out with a song with Pusha T, and it feels like he's addressed it multiple times, and it's all as a Jay fan. I'm like, I don't feel like you got to keep addressing it, but the whole you wouldn't be Jay-Z if Biggie was here.
I'm supposed to win the Grammy fight, Ghost.
It's a fact.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? How do you prove that? Do you bring Biggie back from the dead? Like, if you could do that type of math and be like, well, if you were really 6'3", and Caleb, if you was 6'5", y'all be in the NBA.
NFL or NBA or whatever.
I would be in the NBA if I was 6'3", though.
But it's like you can't really rewrite history. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Like
At a certain point, you get so successful, people try to grab at anything. Just you know what I'm saying?
Just to talk
People
about
try to say, yeah, if Biggie was here, yeah, they got the commission. And Big would have got better, and Jay would have got better, and they'd have been going back and forth. Like, spend. Your destiny is your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Who you are is not molded by who somebody else is.
And I think we just in this culture we don't really appreciate longevity either.
No, no, no. They call niggas old heads. Yo, nobody listening to that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look. This guy been out since 1996 and still relevant. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I think I would change is like we just don't have an appreciation for our art.
It's called taste. Everybody don't have taste. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to be a flash in the pan brand, and some people want Ralph Lauren. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of taste. People don't have taste. You can't give people taste.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Ralph Lauren was boring before I wore him. I love Kanye, man.
Speaking of taste, like I feel like a lot of new artists today they have like great music, but they're not cutting through. Like, what do you think it takes for artists to really cut through?
There's a couple of things. I think people don't understand their core demographic. Who is your fan? Who are you selling music to? Like, you ask an artist that, a lot of times niggas be like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So I think that a lot of times people aren't unique. Like, it's like, you lack uniqueness. And a lot of times, not most people, some of these artists is generated by everything else. Like, you hear the music, you see the look, but it's not a real thing. If that makes sense to you. Like, this is brought on by a label and
Yeah, that's a look.
spending. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, you know
that's
what
a
I'm saying? A lot of times.
It's produced.
Yeah. And people aren't, not no more. Like, people not falling for the.
Yeah, the 6ix9ines or whatever of the world.
Yeah,
Like
so, like,
they know what's up.
Do you think that's social media or do you think that's just everything?
that's everything. Just everything. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's hard. I think social media has gotten everybody kind of on this same like palette. Like New York used to have their own slang. Down south used to have their own
But
slang.
once you make the internet, that removes that. So now I would never know how niggas in Houston talk if it wasn't for the internet, or if I was listening to a nigga in Houston. You know what I'm saying? But now you watching the YouTube, you hearing niggas, they're all on the internet together.
Everybody got reels.
Niggas be like busting. What the you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I remember when I first went to LA, like, I remember this girl said that's bomb. I was like, what the fuck is that? Now I hear people use it out of place. Like, cause you know what I'm saying?
They just trying to input it.
Yeah, like, you don't even know. Like, that's why I hate. I always get in trouble for saying. I hate when people dress like retro, like 90s look or something like that. Like, you don't even know why you wearing this.
It's
Like,
so forced.
yeah,
I
like
ain't
the
even
people
like-
from this era were dressing like this for a reason. Like, you're just emulating. That's not
Right.
style. That's imitation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to dress in no trend piece. I don't even know
Yeah.
what. Almost like blackface. It's like, why are you doing this?
Right.
I don't like that shit. That 90s look.
And I think without the individuality and like the somewhat no idea is new under the sun, but
Yeah.
without
How you
some form of individuality and originality, we can't get those Mount Rushmore type artists anymore. So I feel like it's harder now to ever be
super hard.
Beyonce or Michael Jackson or Jay Z.
One, people have no attention span. Two, niggas don't want you to be that great. They already, yeah, he dope. He ain't no Beyonce. Or he ain't no big. Like, people already have that.
Or
thing.
he put out 7 songs. He doing too much this year.
People don't want you to be great. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't see that within themselves. So they're like, that's dope, but he ain't dope as Kanye. Or, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
always
It's
the
always a comparison to
It's
somebody
always
else.
something. So to cut through and really make it and be a legendary in this time, it takes a lot.
If you were and you know we had this conversation a lot with the social media. I feel like artists shouldn't be on Twitter anymore.
It's a give and take. It's all how you do it. Some people do it really well. Some people do it really bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give my example of who do it bad. Give me an example of somebody who do just Twitter specifically, because I feel like Twitter is words, and as an artist, as a music artist, your number one thing is your opinions and your thoughts and your words on things. So if you get your viewpoint away on Twitter all day, then what do people have to rush to your music for?
But then there's the commonality. Some people be like, oh, this is my homie. I fuck with him. Oh, I relate to this. Oh, what is he doing? You know what I'm saying? It's the commonality. Now with so many people, like kind of with his question, Caleb's question, he was like, yo, it's so many artists and like shit is more contrived. You need that interpersonal understanding of who this artist is, because the music is not just enough no more. I need to know, oh yeah, you got a baby. Oh yeah, I just broke up. Like, some people need to know that in order to be personally invested in artists. You know what I'm saying?
Is it like a cutoff point though?
I think you should do a good job of trying to keep it friendly but also mysterious, like a little mystique about it. But some people give you all of it, and you know what I'm saying. That works.
Who I'll ask this to both of y'all.
Yeah.
Who are like name the superstars in rap now? Superstars.
J. Cole's a superstar.
Yeah.
Kendrick's a superstar. Kanye West is a superstar. Beyonce's a superstar. Um, Jay-Z's a superstar. Um,
Drake.
Drake's a superstar. Um, Lil Wayne's a superstar. Um, Snoop Dogg's a superstar.
Snoop Dogg is the most is the
So,
biggest superstar
yeah,
rap ever had.
there's nowhere in
And
the
I'm a
world.
Jay-Z stan.
There's nowhere in the world Snoop can go and people don't know that's Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? They might not
Right.
know his music. They might not know.
They know it's
They
Snoop
know
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg the rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Weed.
My grandma ain't listened to rap a day of her life, but she called him Snoopy. Like she know him.
Yeah, so
She's like, that's Snoopy Dogg.
Snoopy's a superstar. I think there's some people who are like budding superstars. I think Doja Cat's gonna get a superstar. I like her a lot.
She's on her way.
If she don't burn out.
I don't think she's gonna burn out. I don't think she's gonna burn out. She got a good team. The Weeknd's a superstar. Shit. After that, it started to get like a little.
Yeah.
None of them tweet except for probably Doja Cat.
Doja Cat engages her fans.
Is Cardi a superstar?
Yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah,
Cardi.
yeah.
I think Cardi is the
Cardi's a
example
superstar.
of
Cardi's a
somebody
superstar.
who's a superstar and still do it.
Tweets, DM people, she engages, but you know what I'm saying? She has a bubbly personality. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She kind of like, that's what she came up on, fucking with her fans and the supporters. So it's good to see that she didn't change that now that she is a star.
But I feel like, to me, it's two people that I feel like if they would have cut it at a certain point, they would be appreciated more as artists. Wale and Fab. I think they were like Twitter superstars at one point, and then they should have cut it off.
I think people don't appreciate them as musically enough. They're both amazing artists and great people. I think people don't appreciate them on all fronts. So it's not just
You don't think it has to do anything with overexposure?
Nah, I think that for whatever reason they get left out of conversations of dope rapper and dope artist.
Two of my favorite rappers.
Yeah, two of my favorite. Too.
Same.
Yeah, I tell you.
And they kind of represent like the rap superstar what they were supposed to look like.
Yeah, fly, dope
Yeah.
sneakers, girls like them, newest clothes.
Got an R&B, a fire R&B feature or single every time out.
Those are two greats in my book.
I just really wish Wale would have like stopped tweeting like
That's
4
it.
or 5 years ago.
Yeah, let people be them. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah, but if he's the one that's like always wondering why he don't get the credit he deserves,
But that's deep. That's like I said. That's musically. That's in rap. That's not just social media. He don't get the credit he deserves, whether he tweets or not. If he never tweeted, people still wouldn't give him the credit he deserves.
I just remember that. I remember that 08, 09, no
the blog era.
hands, blog era.
Yeah.
Is blog era the best era in rap?
No.
He finna argue this.
No.
What you
The
think?
best era. How do you count eras? Do you count decades? Do you
I
count?
think it's every decade. I think the shit that was like you got to look at like 1998 and 99. That was like probably like the biggest rap ever was like when it crossed over and made MTV and
I would say
Hard
the
Knock
best
Life.
5 years of rap is 98 through 2003.
That's close. Yeah, I would agree with it.
I think
You gotta look
if
at
we can quantify that versus going decades, that's the best time.
you gotta look at the sales people were selling tours. Like you know what I'm saying. Rap is bigger now because the internet makes everything huge. Rap is the biggest genre and shit. But the blueprint definitely was laid like when Eminem dropped and like fucking Jay-Z and DMX. DMX went platinum 2 times.
Twice in one.
Yeah,
Like
like
1 year.
yeah, that was like the fucking
Pinnacle for real.
pinnacle of rap, man. And the music was really good as well.
Outside of like maybe that 03. 03 had like 03 had a 02 03 had a lot of big selling albums like
Nelly,
Nelly,
Ja
50,
Rule, 50, yeah. So,
Eminem,
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of
Outkast went diamond twice I think.
shit. Yeah, y'all nice.
You know how I got
Atlanta got something to say.
Atlanta got something to say. I got
I know. Y'all niggas y'all got a chip on your shoulder. And it's like y'all been running rap for 20 years. It's all right.
But y'all
it's
ain't
cool.
been admitting it.
It's cool.
Y'all ain't been admitting it for 20 years.
Cool. But why do you need a nigga to admit it? You get your money, you get your credit. What you want to say? Yo, we really fuck with y'all. Y'all don't need that. That's something on the inside. That's insecurity.
Hey, dog. If Michael Jordan and LeBron want that trophy,
but you get
Will Smith wanted his trophy.
Y'all get the trophy every year. Y'all selling the most. Your cities is popping. What more do you want?
So when do you think that changed?
When I think the shit happened.
Yeah.
You seen people start to like get more sense of hometown pride. I think as rap got broader and wider and the internet hit, like you always had places like Houston doing their own thing and shit like that. But now it was like you see it on TV, somebody from Memphis, like, oh shit, we could do our own shit too. Because before the rap videos, no matter where you was, niggas was wearing Yankee hats and they was looking like New York because they thought that's what they had to emulate. Because that's all they seen. All you seen was niggas from New York and niggas from LA, West Coast shit. But I think around that time, like 05, 06, shit started like going crazy. Not before that. Before that, Cash Money, yeah. So that was like 99 Juvenile drop.
I say 04 for two reasons. Number one, I feel like Black Album's 03.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jay-Z's retirement, even though he didn't stay retired. I think he kind of signaled like, all right, I'm bowing out, so somebody else got to take the throne, and Wayne came right behind it, and that's the change.
Cash Money was still rope hot and smoking by then. No Limit was already selling millions, so they
But you're not gonna give us 98.
No, I'm not saying 98, but I'm saying like early 99, 2000. The shit was starting to happen, slip and slide. There's niggas from everywhere. The South started really catching on. Outkast, like LaFace, like they had a lot of shit coming out at once, and then New York kind of went to the wayside a little bit, and then y'all just kept going. But
y'all heard it here.
I said it the same.
Hovain say we had the throne for 20 years.
You didn't even debate that. Y'all got it.
Me and Low, me and Cat, it's been a lot of me and Rob.
Yo, listen, y'all got it. But it's like, what more?
We still got to come to New York to do business.
What more do y'all want? What more do y'all want? It's like, yo, South got something to say. Y'all said
Bill Russell, dog. We want all the rings we can get.
Y'all getting it. But y'all want a pat on the back as well. Like, I don't get it.
Speaking of, two things. Do you think award shows and stuff like that still matter?
When it affects your pay, it matters. So when you say the Grammy Award winning artist, that's now another level.
But what about like BET Awards and all the other stuff?
I mean, we don't put enough value into it as ourselves. Some of them awards we don't even go to. So you know what I'm saying? For some people, it's not a national or bigger look. For some people, unfortunately, it's the white man's ice cold. You know what I'm saying?
Being behind the scenes, is it all like cool factor, or is it like the Grammys and all these other things have bigger budgets and they make people come?
It's more prestige. It's more prestigious. Like the fucking Grammys is probably 75 years old, or if not older. So BET Awards started in 2001. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they got a 50 year. You know what I'm saying? It's more prestigious. It's more recognized because certain shit. When you say that shit, yo, I was nominated for an Emmy. Like when Caleb gets bored his shit and starts doing,
he got family.
The price is not gonna be the price. You know what I'm saying? Just being nominated does that for you. So winning takes you to another level. So it matters because it affects your pay.
So, speaking of award shows, speaking from the perspective of like Will Smith's manager, how would you diffuse that situation?
While it was happening or now?
Like now.
Shit, you gotta kind of like. There's two ways you can face it. You gotta kind of like be head on and go do a whole PR campaign and sit down with the people and say your side of the piece, or you gotta kind of like disappear for a little bit and let shit kind of like blow over. Those are like two different ways you can.
Would you tell them to get divorced? I'm just joking. Y'all know I gotta throw some craziness in there, dog. Have you ever managed an actor?
An actor? No, never managed an actor. Managed comedians, can act, but I never managed a straight up like thespian.
Is there some like, are you interested in that, or do you want to like go into another industry?
I mean, like only thing I turn down is my college. So you know what I'm saying? I listen to I listen to all type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody might come to me and like, yo, I need your help with this. Like, I never thought I'd be managing personalities. So now it's like, that's another different thing. So if it makes sense and I feel like I'm equipped to do it, I don't never want to lose anything I do. So even if it's the right bag and I might lose, I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do it because your reputation and your name is worth more than anything. So if it's the right situation and then I act in, I feel like our interests is aligned and I can take him to another level with it.
Do you have like a either one of y'all? Do y'all have like a dream person to work with, or did you do it already?
Man, I managed
I
some of
kind of did it already.
I'm about to say I managed some of my childhood heroes. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Styles, the Locks.
Yeah.
Styles, my guy.
Yeah, so it's like, these people were hanging up on my wall as a child. So like to manage them and shit like that. So I I'm already living my dream. I don't have a dream person per se.
At what point do you feel like you got to that point where it's like, all right, like this is it? You know what I mean? I'm living what I envisioned when I started.
Hmm. Good question. I have a lot of those moments where it's like I manifested this or something I do a work and I'll be like, this is what I knew I was capable of, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody has doubt, so in times of doubt, it's like, damn, can I do this shit? And then you do it, like, yeah, I fucking could do it. What the fuck I'm talking about?
Right.
With all the stuff you've done, and I tell you this all the time, but do you feel like you intentionally stay under the radar? Because I feel like more people should know the millions of things you've done.
I mean, I try not to even worry about that shit. Like, what am I gonna do? Have a manager, be a manager with a PR person? It's like, you know what I'm saying? The niggas who supposed to know. Like when I get around niggas, they know. Like, you know what I'm saying? The important people, the people that people respect me, and that's all that matters to me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I talk to,
Everybody love Hovain.
like when I talk to the guys, like some of the superstars we was talking about, they keep it up with what I'm doing. They know what I'm doing. That's all.
The craziest part is even when like go back to when we first met. The second time we met. I had invited Rob to the Kanye show at the
Yep,
Garden,
yep, yep. The
and
contract, got
and
it.
Rob couldn't come. And he was like, "Yo, can Hovain come?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a fan," but I didn't even. It wasn't even like nothing crazy. And we came in, you kicked it. I'm like, you would never know. I think this was probably at a time where I was like not used to being around people in the industry that much.
Cause I'm not. My job and what I do is not who I am. I'm a cool regular nigga. I always been cool. Always been fly. I always so some people carry what they do on them. Like, cause if I was a butcher, I wouldn't walk around with fucking talking about pork chops and shit like that. You know
Might
what I'm
walk
saying?
around with a blade though.
Yeah. So it's like because you're in music and because none of this shit is not lost to me. I'm a manager to a star. I'm not a star, so I don't carry that arrogance. Some people work in the music business, they carry that arrogance, so they act like how they think a music person's supposed to act. I'm a regular nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
I'm
know,
a,
dog. You got Adidas posters.
yeah, that's cool. But I,
You
Deals,
see, you
sponsorships.
see how he
Come
like that?
on,
I
man.
gotta hype him. Like I
know what I'm
tell
saying?
Caleb this too.
Adidas
I know these
commercials.
things, but it's like I don't walk around with that shit. I don't present that shit when I walk around. Hey, how you doing? I'm Hovain. What's up? Like I still introduce myself to people. I was at the ATL shit. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm Hovain. People like, I know who the fuck you are, but I don't walk around like that. Like I'm not.
You're not gonna buy into your own
I
hype.
don't. Yeah, I don't have my head up my ass. I'm a regular human being. Like I'm not better than nobody because I work in the music business. People act like that though, so I get it. It's because when I am how I am with people, people be like, wow. I never would have thought you were like this. You're just regular. You're cool.
Yeah,
What
I'll
the
never
fuck you
forget.
think do? Like I was home in New York, not this time, but like probably 2 times ago. I went to a friend of mine baby shower, and it was like in the hood. I walked in, people like, I didn't think you were coming to something like this. Why? Why the fuck? I'm fucking from
Brooklyn.
I'm here. I'm here for the potato salad like everybody else. Jeez, what the fuck? Like people get their image of how people are supposed to act, and I guess it's because a lot of people act like fuck niggas. So when you meet a regular nigga who really doing
It's
shit,
surprising, like
it's like, oh my gosh. Man, you meet these people, like people who really are somebody. Like Beyonce is the nicest person in the world, but people would think
They
she,
make up whatever they think she's
yeah,
gonna be.
man. And then people who are not even nowhere near her level are kind of diva-ish. It's like you have no reason to
I
act
got
like
some of them stories.
like you have no idea. Like,
that. But
we can name a few,
it is what it is. You gotta know yourself.
right,
Dog, I'm not gonna say her name.
bro.
I'm not gonna say her name, but one of my homegirls hit me up. Shout out to my ear. hit me up to come work with one of her artists. She wanted Caleb to come shoot it, and she
Mm-hmm.
knew me and Caleb was partners. So I hit Caleb. I'm like, yo, let's go do this. This is a pretty big artist,
Mm-hmm.
not super big, but like she got a name. Everybody knows who she is. So this 5 o'clock on a Friday in Atlanta. We went from here, which is in the West End. Anybody who know Atlanta, we in the West End. We went to Tree
Three
Sound, which
times
is
too, yeah.
like
Tree sound is
Gwinnett.
deep. I know
like
that.
That's an hour.
hour
Yeah.
and some
Tree
change.
sound is deep. Yeah, yeah. Shout to Molly. I love Tree sound.
Dog, when we walked in, well, number one, she was late, but whatever. I ain't even tripping off of that because she had probably hit the same traffic we hit.
Mm-hmm.
But she got there, and man, when I tell you, she acted like she was Beyonce and Michael Jackson put together in the first 5 minutes.
That shit is disheartening, man. It's like
It's sad. Like,
when you meet people and you're a good person. Like, let's just say you a regular Joe Schmo and somebody you hiring to do work in your crib. Person comes to work in your crib, they do a great job, they're pleasant, cool, you might have a little banter, and they leave. Their work is probably like an 8. Now, somebody can come in, they work as a 10, but they're late, they give you attitude, there's a lot of pushback. Who you gonna call a hire?
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? So just like be a good person. At the end of the day, like I know celebrity and stardom sometimes goes to people's head and they can't handle it, but you gotta try to be as regular as possible. Keep regular people around you that keep you grounded. Like if you're bugging, like what's wrong with you? Why you got shades on? We're in the club.
you tell me I'm bugging a couple times too.
Uh,
But that's true. You know, they say people might not remember what you do or what you say, but they remember how you made them feel.
remember how you make me feel.
always.
And I'm lucky that my reputation has always been that of people speak highly of me, people refer me for things because of the relationships I have and because I'm a cool nigga and I'm a good person.
Yeah, it's going back to that night that you came to the box. I'll never forget it. And we done been out plenty of times. We done did a lot of like we've been super tight. You like my brother for years.
Thank
I
you,
can tell you everything that you did that first night that stood out. Like that's just a good person.
sir.
Like you got us into I ain't gonna say the club. DJ Envy was at the club that night.
Mm-hmm.
You got us in VIP. You called and checked like 4 or 5 times just to make sure
And
we
just
got in, and you didn't know us.
my nigga just gotta be a good human being. That's all it boils down to. I keep saying it, but the idea is so foreign because people are fuck niggas. And I show people and I treat people with the same respect I want. That's why I have friends for 20 years and people I grew up with, and I can go to any city and be good anywhere because people be like, oh, nah, it's over. Make sure I take care because he took care. You know what I'm
In Miami,
saying? I'm out of Miami.
in Miami, I don't even got to call home no more. I be like, yo, I'm Hovain friend. We come in. They be like, all right, you're not supposed to get in with tennis shoes on, but you Hovain's friend, so we gonna let you in.
Yeah,
It
man.
be a bunch of that.
Yeah, man. I have great friends in every city in the world that feel like almost so. Like
Kansas.
Kansas, everywhere. Shout out to everywhere. I have friends and relationships everywhere, and that's worth going to go. You know what I'm saying?
So another joint question. I'm gonna go with you first. As a video director, as a visual creator, do you feel like you have a responsibility to change the way it's done in the music business now? Like, do you feel like you have to change the guard for what video directing is?
Um,
It's
yes,
a lot of responsibility you
yes.
put on that nigga back.
I'm just asking.
God,
It's called change agents.
I think we do. I think we do. I think we got to change like the way directors are presented, the way we pitch, the way we get jobs, the way we treat it in the game. Like we hold a strong take too. Like what I'm saying. We present the image of every artist. Like we control that. So it's just a certain amount of respect that needs to be given to us too.
As an executive, not more so as an executive because you are president at Cinematic. Um, as an executive, do you feel like you have a responsibility to change something about the game before you're done?
yeah, 100%. Like I try to leave anything, relationships, people, places, leave anything I do better than when I got there. You know what I'm saying? So if that's not signing an artist that I don't think the imagery is right for the masses, you know what I'm saying? Just passing on it, just anything you can do to improve the overall state of music. I think that I'm responsible for 100%. Whether it's giving back the information or knowledge through the teaching the college course that I do, because niggas wasn't
Professor Hove.
Professor Hovain. Niggas wasn't giving no free game out. Niggas wasn't telling you, yo, this is what you need to do. These are the tools. This is what you should be looking for. Niggas be acting like they trying to die with the secrets. Especially when I was coming up. Now it's like, if I could give a nigga
The
some
whole
information,
gatekeeper thing.
and like that gatekeeper shit is corny, man. Like rap was developed and made by us for us. Like, why do you want to keep those secrets? Like, you know what
From
I'm saying?
us.
Yeah, like get that game away. So I find myself sometimes it might be through a DM or it might be a person in the street that come up to me. I'm gonna give this nigga some tools and I'm not gonna tell him generic shit. Yeah, keep doing your thing, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Work
Just
hard.
corny shit like that. Like, if I can give you a little bit of direction or point you into a direction or maybe tell you a book to read or whatever I can do to help and push along, I feel like that's my responsibility because nobody did that shit for me.
Before we get out, because you brought it up, and I should have brought it up at the top. You've been teaching a college course for what,
Yes, sir.
3 semesters now?
3 semesters, yes sir.
Tell us about that a little bit.
So there's a college in Brooklyn, Kingsborough Community College. Shout out to Kingsborough. I was approached to teach a business class, and I was like, hey, me, and it was like, yeah, we'd love to have you teach the class. So I taught the first class, and it was strictly for the students there. But people kept calling and asking about the class that wasn't enrolled. So they did the next semester. They opened it for the public. So we did it. It was 10 weeks. I had some of my friends come and teach. Charlamagne did a week. B. Dot, Rob Markman, uh, financial advisor, lawyers. I hate when I say names because now if I do if I somebody name right there, yeah.
They know it's all
All of my friends,
Yeah.
I had to do it. So I'm about to do the next semester, and I'm going to do all women. So I'm going to get like women DJs, women A&Rs, women, just all the women in the business that work different positions. I'm going to have them as keynote speakers every week and just teach the class. I'm getting that together now. I got a couple people locked in. Shout out to Karen Silver.
Shout out to Karen Silver. Um, do anybody retire from rap?
I hear people say it. I don't know why. Would you? It was a great job.
I don't think I know anybody that like.
I don't know anybody that retired from rap. I know people that worked at record labels for 20 years and they still there. I know rappers who still run around touring, getting money. It's a great job. Why you want to retire from it? It's fun, travel.
I think Caleb gonna retire from rap.
Retire from rap.
No.
He said,
I think Caleb gonna retire from rap and just start shooting movies.
I mean, you still shoot movies, but you still rap is still your.
I was
We
like,
are hip hop is us. We are the culture.
It's like
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like he's not gonna stop being. He's not gonna be dressed in a suit when he
I
goes
was,
shoot
I
the
was about
movie. He
to
gonna
say,
be dressed
like,
like this.
Spike was doing movies, but he was still directing.
Yeah, Spike is hip hop. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you know,
Hey, Spike Lee unblocked me on Twitter. Spike Lee blocked me, dog, and I'm a Knicks
He
fan.
probably deserved it.
Nah, I know exactly what it was that I
Probably
did.
deserved it.
what tweet was it, bro?
So when Django came out, Spike was he was, I ain't gonna say he was hating, but he was critiquing Django,
Which he has the right to.
which he does have. He's Spike Lee,
He got the right to. He directed more movies than you. So
but
you can't tell that man he can't say nothing about a movie.
dog, Spike Lee is like on my Mount Rushmore of people,
Spike Lee is one of my top directors and people ever.
like figures in culture. Spike Lee is. I'm a Knicks fan, dog. From Georgia, I'm a Knicks fan.
So
Half of that.
why he blocked ass? Tell the
So,
story.
but you
hating.
gotta
You
remember
was hating.
when Django came out, like
I don't know. Just get to the hate.
15.
Get to the hate, my
I
man.
just said, dog, it's other people that can make dope black movies other than you, but I'm joking. Like that's what Twitter used to be.
He might not have been in.
He went in a good mood that day.
And I took that person.
And I took that person.
And he blocked it.
And
Look,
it's-
man, anybody don't play about their art, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that wasn't his art.
But it's a
It's,
form
it's
of art.
still, it's vested interest.
That's
It's a
like
movie that he cares about.
when you come publish a book, if somebody write a book, you're like, this book is not that great. You can say that because you're
Because I put my book out.
all right.
And I saw the crazy thing, I saw him at Atlantic Station like 2 days later.
He should have fucked you up.
We had a great conversation. We had a great conversation.
Should have said, can you unblock me, please?
I didn't know I was blocked yet.
Nigga with the tweet. I just read it. He said, I just read it.
Dog,
Attack.
Block leak.
man, being a Knicks fan and being blocked by Spike Lee is heartbreaking.
That's funny.
There's only two people that block me that I care about ever. Spike and Lupe.
Why do it? Why?
I said Lasers was trash.
You gotta stop critiquing these people work, man.
I gotta tell the truth.
You gotta stop.
You
No,
just said
you don't have to tell them the truth. You're not a rapper.
you just said
You're not a
hip hop
rapper.
is us.
You're not a rapper.
Is hip hop us?
Yeah, but
You're not a rapper. You critique rap.
I
You
work,
manage rappers. I manage rappers.
I work directly in the rap field.
I don't.
You do, but at the time you probably didn't.
Nah, at the time I
time.
didn't.
Exactly. He probably used your page and said, "Man, fuck this."
So
nigga.
Lupe is the first rap concert I went to by
And
myself.
you hating on him. Goddamn.
Dog, I didn't like the album. I could not like. I like every Jay Z album, but I could not like your album and feel like you dope.
Don't be a hater, man.
That's hating.
Don't be a hater, man. Keep your critiques to yourself.
So now,
because you never know who you can influence. Somebody might have not bought his album because they looked
like
to you in
Lasers?
your opinion.
Did you like Lasers?
It was cool. It was cool.
I mean,
But
them first two were smokers.
What I'm saying is, somebody can see your critique and say, "Oh, I think Travis knows hip hop. If he says it's garbage, it's garbage. I'm not going to listen to it." So now you just took money out of his mouth with your opinion.
But I think that's part of.
No. But
still feel like
is that cool or not?
So this goes back to the artist on Twitter thing that we was talking about before. It's like, you trying to find a line. Like,
Yes. If you don't want to see nothing but good opinions, don't be on there.
No, but what I'm saying is you could affect him financially.
I feel like one of the biggest problems in rap.
You're not.
You're right.
That.
You're right.
So do you think, as an artist, I would appreciate that?
I don't care if you appreciate it.
See, that's
because if I spend my money on it,
that's why I block you.
But if I spend my money on it, and I'm a legit fan, I'm not somebody that's waiting on the timeline to tell me what they don't like.
Talk about things you like. Don't talk about things you don't like. That's negative.
One of the biggest problems in rap right now is nobody's critiquing, nobody's telling the truth about rap.
Now it goes back to who's to do the critiquing. Somebody might say, "You're not qualified to critique my music,"
but he don't know that.
But he might say that. He can say, "You're not qualified to critique my music."
Just like he can
say, "Hey, are you a rapper? Have
I'm
you
a
ever won platinum? Do you have a Grammy? Have you performed in front of millions of people?"
Somebody has to tell the truth,
and the artist can say who that is.
You're right,
and they can say it's not.
I'm not saying he wrong for blocking me. I just said it hurt.
Lupe, I'm a DM Lupe and say,
"I tell Lupe, dog.
I'm a DM. Spike don't follow me, but Lupe follow. I'm a DM Lupe and say,
Lupe,
hey, block my man.
Lupe, Food and Liquor concert at Halloween.
He gave you
House of Blues
and enjoy, and you gonna talk
and then you turn around and gave me Lasers.
Ain't no making some people happy, man.
Hovain always do this.
I'm on the side of the creators,
but the craziest part is Hovain is the number one person that'll tell you when an album is trash.
They take critique a little better from me.
No, I'm talking about when me and you get in our debates.
Yeah.
You'll call an album trash quick.
I'm being honest.
What's the difference? Private?
It's just a platform.
It's the platform. Because me and your conversation aren't influencing anyone to not buy someone else. I just gave you a direct cause and effect that can happen when you say something negative. And I'm a strong believer in, if I'm not going to spend any energy talking about something I don't like, I'll spend all the energy talking about things I do like. Every Friday, albums come out. I listen to them. Some of them are terrible. I'm not going to say, man, this shit was terrible, man. I'm going to say, yo, this album I just heard was fire. I'll fuck with it. You should check it out.
If you was doing a show that you critiqued or reviewed albums, would you talk about the bad ones?
I would never do a show where I critique and review albums.
Or when you remember when you and Busy used to do the lives and y'all used to let artists play their stuff. Mm-hmm. You would tell them when their stuff wasn't good.
Because we're looking for someone to sign. I'm in a critique, and you're looking for critique or acceptance from me. That's what you signed up for. You're here for.
But that's what you do when you put out music, right? Mm-hmm. If not, you can keep it in your basement.
Not really. Some people are just artists. They say once I put it out, it's yours. You know what I'm saying?
If it's mine, I can talk about it. Last thing I want to touch on before we go. Last thing I want to touch on.
Defend being a hater.
It's not being a hater. We throw hate around too. You're a hater because you don't like something. That's too easy.
No, what I'm saying to you is, and you agree to, your critique can cause someone to lose money. And no matter if you paid your money or not, you should never want to do anything to affect someone in a negative manner.
As a politician,
it's just the truth.
Caleb is with me. I feel you.
Because if Caleb do a video and another video director is bashing it, you don't know what future client's going to see that and say, I'm not fucking with this nigga.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So call me. If you can't call me, then
so let me ask you a question. And on that point, do you think if there was no threat of negative critique, you would be as good as you are. Like I feel like part of that.
Those two things can be true. There's duality in that. We need criticism and we need people to keep us in
That's
check.
willing to tell the truth.
But it's where you do it and who it comes from. Also,
if I had Lupe's number, I just would have called him.
Well, you don't, so don't put it on a public platform.
Man,
you affected him negatively.
This is why Twitter is gone. Last thing I want to talk about is best seat in the house.
Yes.
Best seat in the house.
Best Seat in the House was a dope podcast that I had running interview series probably before a lot of people even had podcasts. I had that shit. I had a very successful.
You had a fire 6.
I had a fire 6. I started out very strong. I had a 6-inning stretch, and life got too busy. Like I can't book the artist and plan the show and be in the place and deal with cancellations because I want to go. You know what I'm saying? So if I stay back one day because I'm supposed to interview you and now you cancel, I gotta go. So you might hit me back. Oh, I could do tomorrow. I'm out.
All right, you
know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a lot. I want to bring it back, and I'm going to bring it back. I just have to have mad help. I gotta kind of almost just write the questions and show up.
Which one was your favorite interview?
Man, that's a good question.
I have my favorite.
I mean, me and Ross, but everything that me and Ross talked about is like shit I knew. Like that's my friend, so we talked. So I just said it in front of the camera. So me and Ross was good. It made TMZ. Everybody was talking about it. But I think me and Wex conversation.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, me and Wex. Wex was like the guy who signed Kanye at Adidas. He was the global head of Adidas. He left Adidas.
Mhm.
Shout out to Wex. But just bringing that insight to people who don't understand how that shit worked and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he signed Kanye like right after that. Like a little bit right after that.
Anything else? Hovain, thank you.
First guest, number one.
First
They ain't had no
guest.
champagne for me, no food, nothing.
We had
Imagine if I was number 3, what they was doing to me.
we had a tequila that I'm not gonna give free
Like
promotion.
A open bottle of tequila with no mixers.
We cutting all of that out. I appreciate it.
Like,
Hovain,
shit, number one's good. Like I'm gonna be on the comments like, look, don't go on this show. Like, you know what I'm saying?
but Hovain, I always said if you need me, I'm gonna be there. And I needed him to be the first guest. I appreciate it, bro.
But success. I can't wait to see what y'all boys do.
Change agents, we're gonna turn up, man. Thank you.